Hello everyone, welcome to Kat's Creations, where today, as promised, we're going to be doing a totally new mermaid design that is inspired by a new sign from Pam at Personalize It by Pam. You can find her on Etsy. Once again, it's Personalize It by Pam, and we're going to be working on creating a different look in this particular sign. So when I show you the methods, why I picked the colors and stuff like that, I think you'll have a clear understanding. So it's not going to be your typical like ocean blues and stuff like that. We're kind of going with a different look. And again, I'll explain this in a minute. So if this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'd like to know where you're joining us from and how'd you find us? Hopefully it's on one of the many social media options that are out there, Facebook, YouTube. How'd you find your way over here to find out about me today? I'd love to know. Also, if you like this design and you want to have a record of it really quick, once you get all your materials in, if you just click the share button down below, that will go ahead and share this to your Facebook page. YouTube subscribers, really super simple for you. Just go ahead and click the subscribe bell at the top. I think it's the right-hand corner. Click that and then you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video. So I'm super excited to show you this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down so you can see what we're doing. You're getting an overhead view here. So give me just 1 second. We're going to go ahead and move you down. Hi, Audrey. Welcome from Oregon. You're so not far from me here in Washington now. So I think that's pretty much a good idea. I just got to remember to keep the design within the square here, and then I think we'll be all set. Let me pull up comments so I can see. I see them pop up on my screen, but I don't necessarily see them on my tablet. So hi Carla from New York. Hi Cheryl, welcome. Diane, Audrey, Pam, welcome. So all the other 5 are already previously done for you. I'm color coordinating these and you'll understand why in a minute. So we're going to, in the center of the welds, you're going to take your pipe cleaner. You're going to position that right in the center and wire together the 2 most inside rings. And then we are going to use this inner weld, come up with a midway point to go ahead and do the outside 2. So just like this. I try to make sure my pipe cleaners are even because in the event we're going to put a bunch of stuff in them, you want to make sure that you're maximizing exactly what you have. So we have 6 on the inside 2, and we have 12 on the outside 2. This makes for a grand total of 18. Now, I was all into the whole color changing thing. So here is the reason why. So I'm going to show you this sign. This is the sign from Pam. I fell in love with this design when she posted it. And I was like, I have to have that. I've got to figure out a way to do this because this is not your typical, I'm trying to get rid of the glare that's there. This is not your typical blues. This is predominantly green. So it's green and kind of a gold look to it. So we're going to be trending this more of a tropical lagoon and not a mermaid that would be found out in the deep sea. So we're going to be using a lot of color changing ribbon and mesh. So what I mean by color changing is depending upon which way you look at it or how it appears in the sun, it could be purple, it could be blue, sounds like a song, purple, blue, or an emerald green. So I felt that the best mesh for this one was doing 2 different types. So let me just push this aside. So here's our sign, right? So typically I gravitated for the traditional teal color, right? Just like this, teal. And I'm like, I'm kind of not feeling this because it feels like it's more green which it is, it's about 2/3 green, playing with the different color palettes in here. And then you just have this little edge right over here, which would pick up these color palettes. So I was already like, okay, so we're not doing teal. And then I was like, well, what if we went a darker blue? And again, you can see that it doesn't pop. It doesn't do anything when you apply the darker blue. So this is kind of helping you when you're going and deciding what colors you should use for your mesh. Is take your sign, place your sign on your Deco mesh, and see what does that feel like to you. So then I took the emerald green, and I really like how the emerald green just really took all the vibrant greens, different shades of greens, and really popped this. And so I was like, but I'm not really seeing green water, right? And then I started thinking, well, lagoons are more green with just like a little tinge of blue. So maybe we could play with that and do a two-tone. So what I opted to go with was we're going to do the emerald green since it paired really well. And then we're doing the peacock Deco mesh, which is, depending upon which way you hold it and which way it goes against the light, you either get a green or you get a blue tone to the mesh. So I'm going to be doing this in the Deco mesh. We're doing color changing, and in the ribbon choices that I made, I've got color changing ribbon as well. And I kind of like that because it's a little bit of both. So we are doing 9 of each color. We're doing the peacock, and then we're also doing the wide foil emerald green because they pair really well together. And both of the pieces are cut to 20-inch lengths. So we're going to take these, we're going to ruffle them, and we're going to place them in every single pipe cleaner. And I'm just going to kind of alternate, and you're going to see me do a little bit of a different method. And we're going to go ahead and ruffle this. So when I'm picking the insides, I'm also going to be looking at alternating the inside color. So like right now, here's our peacock blue. We're going to go ahead and just twist off the inside 6 as we get to those. So we're doing finished edges to the inside and the outside. Our cut edges are to the outside. Now I'm going to go with the emerald green. And I'm going to be toggling the outside, you know, alternating blue, green, blue, green, blue, green all the way around, but also the inside. So sometimes it might seem like I have 2 right next to each other, but it's not, in the sense that we're matching outside colors with inside colors. And so this is going to kind of help play to those, you know, as the green lays over the blue, you kind of get a blue-green effect. And then from here, we're going with our peacock color. The Deco mesh can all be purchased at craftoutlet.com. You don't have to be a wholesaler. Hi, Charlotte. She's like, I can't believe I caught you live and I have to leave in 10 minutes. Well, the good thing is I'm always here on Tuesdays, right? It's Tuesday. Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is probably either 6 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Eastern. Depends on where you're at. So we're going to go ahead and take this one, lay this right over the top. But I also want to make sure that my green is laying down on the inside, just like this. And then we're going to take our pipe cleaners, bring them together so we don't lose them in the process. We know we did the peacock, so we're going to come in here and do the green for our inside. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Facebook and its notifications. I kind of gave up trying to figure Facebook out. Just like I can do events on one page, but I can't do events on another page. So, you know, just where I think I have it figured out, it changes things. So, I don't know. Maybe they're doing more updates behind the scenes we don't know about. so we're back to the middle. Now remember, the middles are fillers for the outside pieces, so we need to make sure that that middle is going down between those, and then we bring our outside piece back up and over. Okay, now it's going to feel like, okay, a green and a green, but we've already alternated. We have our blue here. We need to do green on the outside. Right? Same here. I think if we were to have a poll, Facebook, if Facebook did a poll regarding its users, people would probably say, just leave things alone. Once people figure out how they work, it's like you change it on us. So just leave it alone. It just makes everybody's life so much easier. So as we get to our blending of one section into another, remember, we want to take our Deco mesh and we want to cover the next piece so that it doesn't leave any gaps. Linda said, is this a pancake without the ribbons? No, because a pancake method has 6 to the outside, 6 to the inside. It looks like it, but it's not. This is going to have 18 20-inch pieces. So it just seems like that because when I'm laying my pieces in, I make sure that they're fully extended, just so that we have great coverage all the way through. Okay, just like that. Pipe cleaners to the left, and then we've done green to the inside, so now we want blue to the inside. I do have a wreath tutorial on how to make a pancake wreath. I think I did it for our 4th of July, one of our 4th of July ones. And we just did 2 Easter ones with the pancake method, just to show you, or anyone, what the difference is between pancake method and why so many people confuse the two is because the way that you lay them, like for me, it seems like I'm doing the pancake method, but I'm not. I just make sure that all of my mesh that I'm laying in there is fully extended so that we're getting exactly what we hope for when we lay our next piece on top of that. Right, Denise? I agree. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Donna said a lot of people have started Clapper accounts to have backup in case Facebook continues to have issues. You know, I would love to see a rival come along and really give Facebook a run for their money. I remember back in the days there was MySpace and then there was Facebook, and people kept thinking, oh, what was it? MySpace will never go away. Where's MySpace now? Nobody knows. I think there's still some accounts out there, but for the most part, that's a thing of the past. Alrighty, so we're green. Now we're going to toggle to our blue. So again, 10-inch Deco mesh cut to 20-inch pieces. I have 9 of each color. One is a wide foiled emerald green, and the other is a color changing peacock blue. And that's exactly what they call it. It is a peacock teal. So if you're looking for it on Craft Outlet and can't find it, it might be that it's out of stock. Okay. So doing the ruffle method is the easiest for doing Deco mesh. All of these have been cut with a wood burning tool, and you can get wood burning tools virtually anywhere. You can get it at your local home improvement stores. You just need something that can get up to about 425 degrees. Keep that in mind when you're using it, though. That can create quite the burn if you're not paying attention. But what it does is it seals your Deco mesh as it cuts and helps reduce frays by, depending upon what kind of Deco mesh you have, you should be able to reduce it by about, I'd say 90% would be a good safe bet. Okay, so we did that. Now we have blue here. We're going to do green to the outside. So I'm alternating colors on the inside 6 and on the outside 12. Just 2 colors. Okay, this one's going to go right in here. 2 twists. And then we need to make sure that we're going over our center piece and that we're connecting those. Just like that. Pipe cleaners to the left, and then we're working on our outside in the new section. I want to make sure that that's kind of locked into this area here, and then we're going to put our blue right on top. Right on top of this. Okay, and I'm just feathering the outside left. I'm not doing the right yet because I still have to get my centerpiece in. So move this over. Okay, now we're doing our inside piece. Just to let you guys know, if you're interested, we are starting a new Bible study tomorrow into the book of Jonah. Short book, only 4 chapters. But we're taking that and doing a parallel. If you've ever had issues pop up in your life where it feels like you've been forced into a detour that you didn't see coming, this is what our study is about. It's called A Life Interrupted. You can hop on over to the Cats Creations Bible Study page and you can just request to join. It's free to join it. So there's that one, and then we're going to put our green in here. Plop this one in. My chickens are outside free ranging right now, which means I let them out of their, they have about a 750 square foot chicken run, but sometimes like us, it's just nice to get a different view. So we let them into the garden that we're going to be building in the spring. And right now it's just an area covered with leaves, dirt, grass, and whatever stuff we've thrown out there to compost. And they are loving it because they get the most amazing worms and grubs. So they're like super excited every time I let them in. It's completely fenced though, they can't go anywhere. Okay, last 4. Linda, we moved the time to the Bible study because not too many people were able to do the early morning one, so we pushed it out the same time that our live is now. It's 4 o'clock Pacific, 6 Central, or 7 Eastern time, depending upon what time zone you're in. So a lot of people are super, super excited for that because they're like, oh, yay, I get to participate. So yes, we start that, and I am so looking forward to that because these last 2 weeks we finished up our last one, and we gave everyone 2 weeks to order if they want the study guide that accompanies the study. You can order it off of my Amazon affiliate link, which I share on that page. And I want to say, what is the workbook? Does anyone know? I ordered mine so long ago, I don't remember. I knew I wanted to do a study on Jonah because when you get to the last chapter in the book of Jonah, it just feels like it ends. Like it was a cliffhanger ending, and you don't know what happened at the very, very end. It just ends. So I'm curious to see how this is going to map over, because my life has taken a little bit of a unplanned detour right now. Things have been changing in my life a lot. So I'm waiting to see what this means and how it could help me move forward and not get stuck. Go back to the way things were. Okay, one more skinny little piece to squeeze in there. I know it looks like a mess right now. Looks like a bunch of seaweed in the ocean. Seaweed in the ocean. Okay. Oop. And I love this color changing mesh. It is so pretty. Okay, squeezing in the last piece. And then I just got to fluff this piece out. So I'm going to take the one next to it and then make sure this goes over it. Same thing, one under it, so that this can pair nicely. Okay, so that's that. Deco mesh base right now from end of mesh piece to end of mesh piece is 24 inches. So that is our diameter at this stage. And now we're going to add ribbon to it. 3 different types of ribbon. I chose to go with 3, which is why I went with the beige, the blue, and the green, because that is the ribbon we're going to be using. Which, let me share all this with you. Just right here, I think it's 5 ribbon different. So we're going to be using this. It's kind of, I bought this a long time ago at Hobby Lobby because I felt like it was like a seaweed kind of net thing. And I was like, ooh, that's really pretty. I've had it for so long. This is like amazing that I get to utilize this. So this is going to go where all of our beige is. It's going to be alone because the stuff we're going to be adding to it are going to be starfish and seashells, kind of like a net picking up things from the bottom of the ocean. Then and it's cut to 14-inch pieces from Hobby Lobby. And then we're doing this, it's kind of like mermaid scale kind of glitter. It's like a gold, a green, and a teal. This was from Hobby Lobby at Christmas. So this is 14 inches. And pairing that with a 19-inch piece. And this is, it's kind of green, blue, and then it kind of fades into like a gold. It's like an ombre sheer. This is from Joann's at Christmas last year. Pairing that with this color changing, it's kind of it depends on which way you hold it. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's green. So it's a color changing ribbon. It looks like this on the spool. When it's like really super thick and you can see it, it changes colors, which is exactly what I wanted this entire design to do. It's to have different looks depending upon how you look at it. And we're going to pair that with a solid gold because that pulls from the gold tones in the sign. So this is where all these colors came from, is pulling from the palette in the actual sign. So the 1.5 inch piece, it's going to are cut to 19-inch pieces. The 2.5-inch pieces, including this one, are all cut to 14 inches. And we're going to be toggling those throughout the wreath. So we're going to start with our little mossy piece. And I'm just going to leave it a little mossy looking. I'm not going to dovetail the ends. We're going to place this right in here with our beige. And I'm going to make sure that that's in there nice and tight. And then I'm going to remove the pipe cleaner from this one, because all this is meant to do is pull that in. I'm going to tuck that all the way back, and then we're just going to fan that out just like that. Okay, then where we have our blue, we are going to be pairing that with our teal. I fold it in half just so we can make sure when I place this in the inside, it is at the halfway point. One twist. I always like to feather these to the outside, just like this. Okay, here's that mermaid scale look. We're taking our 1.5 inches. We're kind of matching the ends together, but going up about 2 inches in. We're going to pinch in. We're going to lay this on the inside. We're going to trim off the excess. We're going to take this little end. We're going to go right behind the loop. Okay. Then we're going to open it. We are going to right side one of our pieces. And I like to present so that you see all of the ribbons present, just like that. Okay, and then the last one is going to be our color changing ribbon. We're going to pinch in. We're going to add that right into every pipe cleaner that is green. Okay, same thing, fan it to the outside. We're going to take our gold. We're going to do the same thing, pinch in about 2 inches from the inside. And we're going to twist until we get those all done. Cut the ends off, go right behind this, open up your loop. We're fanning this out and then doing the same thing. Bring your ribbon through. Make sure all of your pieces can be seen. So there is our color combination as we go around the wreath. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing those. It's a little hard doing it like facing the opposite way so that you all can see it. I don't sell this line, Wanda. That is from Pam at Personalize It by Pam on Etsy. So I'm trying to make sure I got these ones the same. Now I just take their gorgeous designs and make a design from it. So again, snip, tuck that behind and down, fan that out, and then we're going to add our blue. We're going to go up. I'm going to go right to the inside. Fan that out. Put in our half bow. So this one's more about things that you would find in a lagoon, like a tropical lagoon. Not at the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of a lake. If I was doing those, we'd probably use a little bit more of a teal color. And I've done some mermaids with the greens, light blue, dark blue, purples. Just pulling all those colors in. Okay, pinch. This is where I'm going to take my pipe cleaners now and want to, because we pushed them all to the left, I kind of have to get them back to being straight. And I think you'll kind of see it all to come together once we add the sign to the center. And then we have lots to embellish it with. We're going to be adding some starfish, some seashells, some pearls. Open. Okay, back here, we've got our little moss end here. So this would be the perfect wreath for a beach lover. Someone who loves mermaids. It could be a great party decoration. Go in and remove these. I'm always like waiting to put in the other, and I'm like, oh, we're not putting it in these ones because we're going to add the bounty that the mermaid found from that. Do you guys have any questions I can answer for you? Hi, Gail. I've been thinking about you. We're supposed to get hit here with another storm. They're predicting rain today, but I'm not sure it's going to come. The clouds are rolling in. The winds have been increasing. But so far, nothing. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and my phone charged. Always. When we have windy days, your phones need to be on the charger because we're just never sure when or if we might lose power. Yes, we have a generator, but you know, if it's late at night, we're just going to go to sleep. But if it's in the middle of the day, we need the generator. Couple more. Can you believe I'm finally doing another beach wreath? It's been a while. I used to do beach wreaths all the time. And then I just started making like one. And I'm like, oh. When Pam came out with that sign, I was like, I have to have that sign. It reminds me of the mermaid stained glass in the movie Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It was like a really pretty stained glass window in there. And I liked that it was green and not blue. Okay, 3 more sets and then we're done with all of our ribbons. I had to go dig out all of my seashells. It's been that long. Okay, right in here. Couple here. Tucking that one back in. Making that pop up. And then our blue. I really love this color. This was like the perfect color for this because it has the golds, it has the teals, it has the green, it's color changing. So this worked really well. Okay. Last one. See, and I think the gold pops in just the right places. Like it's not too much gold to overwhelm, but it's a nice accent. Like at first I was like, oh, am I going to do this with orange fish? I'm like, not feeling the orange fish with a tropical mermaid, even though there's the fish in there. Okay, last one. Okay, open. Trying to get this one to pop out. It's wanting to do like a little concave thingy. Okay. All right. So there is that. Now watch when I add the sign to it. Let me spin this around. I'm hoping you're not going to get some weird glare. But look how pretty that looks. Ooh, right in there. So that's kind of where we're going. And I feel like, I'm feeling like it needs a couple bows. Like for some reason, I want to put 2 bows right here. I don't know why, but I do. So I think we're going to do a double. So we'll see. Let us grab all of our ribbon and our bow dabra. So we're just going to do the standard bow. I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, do I want to drop that down low? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, making sure I have all the right ribbons. So we're going to go with this color changing one first. We're going to do 10-inch tails. So this one is really super sheer. So 10-inch right here. We're going to cap it right at the 10 and gather and twist. Place it inside. Going to go up and over. Okay, and we're going to do 5.5-inch loops, meaning that when I pull this ribbon out, I need it to line up at the 5.5-inch mark. Same thing here, 5.5 inches. I'm always double checking all of my lengths. I just don't want to guess it. I'd rather know. And then we're going back out to 10 inches. And we're going to dovetail this one. Okay, there's that. Set this one over here because we're going to need it to make another one. Now I'm going to grab the blue. Just like so. See, it's Hobby Lobby Christmas. Every time when I shop Christmas ribbon, I'm always looking for every season in between. So we're dovetail this one. And we're doing 9.5-inch tail. Coming up. Twist. Place inside. And this time we're doing 5-inch loops. So just measure, stretch it out and bring it in where it needs to be for 5 inches. I feel like that's about right. And we are right on the money. 9.5 inches here. Dovetail it in. Okay. Set that one aside. Now we're going to, we have our, I'm not going to put the moss color in, but we are going to introduce a teal into the center. So I think I want this one on the outside, and I think I like that order. Does that seem right? Let's do it like that. So I'm going to do the green. The green is going to be 9 inches. So measure 9 inches for your tail. We're going to twist, place it inside. We are going to measure 4.5 inch for the loop. And we're going to do the same thing. And then we're back out to 9 inches. And then dovetail our end. So, I believe, except for the one Christmas ribbon and then this ombre, everything is from Craft Outlet. Except for the teal colored blue. That's from Hobby Lobby, but that was at Christmas. And then the ombre sheer at the top, that is from Joann's at Christmas. Hey, babe. The gold ribbon really does bring out the fish, right? Yes, it does. Kathleen says, I have another prayer request. My son, who fought cancer last year and won, has now been told he has possible lung cancer. Well, let's just pray that away. I don't mean like we're going to pray this and miraculously it's going to go away. But firm believer in prayer. So Kathleen, right? Son. Father God, we just come before you right now, Lord, and just ask. We already know that cancer does not extend past the grave, and that it is ramping or is taking control of people's lives who it seems like the enemy can't get rid of any other way. It's like they throw the cancer card in there as like a means of stopping it. But Lord, you've knit him from the inside out. You know every strand of his DNA. You know how to eradicate the things that shouldn't be there and bring in things that will alleviate and fight this. And so, Lord, we just pray for your healing hand upon Kathleen's son, that he can once again wage war and win against this cancer battle. And Lord, that you just give him the strength to face whatever's going to come ahead. Perfect study, right? Life interrupted. We were just talking about that in the book of Jonah. Lord, that you would just heal him, strengthen him. If he has to undergo chemo or any type of IV type of drugs, that you would just help him to not be subject to the nausea, the weakness, and all the stuff that goes along with that. Lord, that his life will be a testimony of a battle waged in this world. And Lord, we hope that it does not end at this particular stage and that he continues to battle on. We ask these things in Jesus' name. And everybody says, amen. So, there you guys go. And if you guys need to ask prayer for anything, please feel free. That's the reason why we kind of invented our Bible study, is I just kind of felt like God has things to say to us. about what's going on in this world. Lord, I just grieved heart last night after what happened in Tennessee, right? My heart just broke for parents who drop their kids off at school thinking that they will pick their kids up from school and everything is good. You know, maybe mom lost her temper trying to get them ready for school. And now there's just regrets, sorrows, pain. And Lord, I know you're with those families. You're comforting them. I feel for the parents of the person who did this unspeakable act of horror, because they probably have the same questions any parent would have is, what the heck went wrong? Where did I go wrong? I cannot imagine this in this day and age. And it's not going to be about more control over making things available or not making things available. This is a heart issue. This is an issue where somebody has got it inside their heart. If you took away all the guns and banned every guns, they would go with knives. If you banned all the knives, they would go with sticks. They would go with stones. They would go with bombs. It's just crazy. We need a change in this world. I hope you guys will join me tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Our pastor, Pastor Jack Hibbs, I share his messages from time to time here on this page because I know so many of you follow me because I am a believer, not ashamed of my faith, nor will I ever be ashamed of my faith. He's doing a national day of prayer to pray for the families of what happened yesterday and to pray for everything that's going on in the world today. The wars going on. It's just like, it feels like a potpourri of chaos has been unleashed upon the world is what it feels like to me. Like, just when you think you can't get anything else. Oh, nope, here's something totally new. So I hope you guys join it. That's tomorrow at 7. I'll be posting it on my Facebook page. So if you guys can, it's supposed to be 90 minutes of prayer. Just praying for everything. Praying for our leaders. Praying for the world. Praying for people who are hurting right now. They have no hope. They don't know what's next. They don't know who to turn to. And I pray, Lord, I pray that this world just turns back to you. I hope we have the greatest revival here soon. I pray that. That would be amazing. To be a generation that sees a revival in the country. And I will go over all the stuff that I'm just doing right now because we kind of got off topic. And I will clarify everything I just did. But thank you guys for joining me in that. My heart just broke yesterday for those parents. Even though my kids are grown, I can't even imagine. This should not be happening, period. Parents shouldn't have to worry if it's going to be the last time they see their kids when they drop them off at school. Okay. Off my soapbox. So let me just recap the ribbons. We started with a 10-inch tail, 5.5-inch loop. Then we went 5-inch tail, 5-inch loop. Then we did 9-inch tail, 4.5-inch loop, a 8.5-inch tail, 4.5-inch loop, a 4-inch loop with a 8-inch tail, and then a 3.5-inch loop with a 7.5-inch tail. I think I got all those. I think so. I think I did. So, all right, I'm going to use a blue pipe cleaner here. I'm going to pick this one up, and then I'm going to go through really quick, and I'm going to make another one identical to this one, and we're going to do a duo of bows on both sides. We'll see how that looks. I don't know. I've never done that. You know that? I've done them like a pair at the bottom and a pair at the top. Let me go ahead and make the other one before we fluff that, just so this will go really quick. This is about how quickly I can make my bows when I'm not explaining. So, but I will revamp. 10 inches, right? We're twisting, placing it on the inside, 5.5 inch loops. Right there. Bring it on in, up and over. We're going to do 5.5 inches again. That one's like closer to 6. And then back out to 10. And here we go. There's that. Now this one is officially done. That one is. I'll just set these aside. I can't find their pins. I think they have, I don't know where they went. I know this one didn't have one because this one we just opened. This one happens to have its wire in the center. It doesn't have wire on the ends. So we're going 9.5 with 5-inch loops, right? This one you have to be careful of because when you go to pull on it, you know, a lot of times when we go to fluff, we pull. But these ones you can actually separate the sides from the middle. So if you're going to fluff, you have to be super careful. Right, Audrey? Praying for revival. Thanks, Maria. She said that's why I joined. Because of my beautiful heart for people and God. I think I've grown so much this year in regards to my faith, because I think God's showing up in a really big way for people who are looking for Him. And I just kind of feel like I did my journey in the desert when we lived in the desert. Now I'm trying to remember which one we did next. It was green. Green, green, green. So now we are doing retreats in the mountains. We need to get our stuff together because I would so love it if we had places where people could come and just get away from the world, the noise. I think people are so desperate for that. One of our friends actually has a really super nice Airbnb cabin, but it is adorable because it is cute and it's very homesteady, like it has a wood stove, but it does not have all the amenities. It is for people who just want to tap out and enjoy, fire by your wood stove, cook in your outdoor kitchen. So cute. I was telling her, I know you're like, I could walk to her house from where I'm at. I'm like, I would just want to go there. She has the most beautiful overlook from her backyard. It just overlooks, I'm not sure if it's Mount Rainier or Mount St. Helens. You can see it on a clear day. And it's just these gorgeous pine-covered hills and mountains. And I remember when she took us and walked us out to the back of our property to show us their property, I was just like, this is what people like me from California come here for. This is where I would want to come and escape to. I don't want internet. I don't want cable. I want to get up, go sit out on the porch with a cup of coffee, watch the deer come in, overlook the mountains, and just get back to the way it used to be. What I should do, it depends on if she has internet out there. I don't know if she does or not. I'll have to check. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just shoot a video on my phone and then come back and upload it and show you her place. And then if you want to book it, if you ever want to come to Washington, we are so close to Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. For us, on a and Mount St. Helens both at the same time, which is really pretty. So, if you ever hear that Mount Rainier's erupting, I don't know if we would be impacted by that or not. I don't think so. I think we would have ash fall out, but that's what my dad said. My dad was like, I can't believe you're moving out there. You know those are volcanoes. I'm like, Dad, every place has something. California, we were waiting for the big one. I lived there 59 years, and we had some, but that's not how we're supposed to live our life. Living it in fear. I need to take my own advice, because there's certain things I won't do because I'm afraid. I won't fly because I'm afraid, but I'll drive because I truly believe you can see more. Okay, so I'm putting these ones together really quick. And we'll go back out. This last one, 7.5 inches. It's the exact same formula. Starting with 10 inches, and it goes with each ribbon I add, I'm taking it down by 1/2 inch on the tail. And almost a 1/2 inch with the loops, with the exception of ribbons 3 and 4. They're both 4.5. But everything else is take it down, take it down. I need blue again. Okay, and then we're going to fluff these. Then we'll put it all together. Oop. So I always hold it at the bottom and I twist my stack. Just because as you get older, I don't know what happened. It's like one day, it wasn't just that food manufacturers changed the lids on your coffee creamers to make everything peel, which you can't really peel anyway because you can't peel it. You have to take like a knife and you have to poke holes in it and then you can peel it off. Just make it easy for us old people. We don't have the hand strength like we used to. Okay, let me get my board. And then we're going to fluff these. And I'm like trying to think, do I want to fluff them? I think I'm going to fluff them with all the tails coming down because I don't want them going up. Let's do one up and one down, and then I can always change the other one. So here's how we fluff. This is pre-cut lumber at your local home improvement store. Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace, wherever. Sanded down. This is 1 inch thick. I added a C-hook, which I repeatedly smashed, dropped on the floor. So the other day I actually had to unbend that so I can make it work again. So we're going to slide that in so that it is right over our hook. And then we're going to do this one so the tails are all down. So this is the easy one. So all you're going to do is pull all your tails down to the same location. So everything to the bottom, right? There's that one, that one. Trying to lift them up. There's this one. Here's that one. All our tails at the bottom. And then what you do for this one is it's similar to the others. You're going to take it, the top two, you're going to open them opposite of each other. So we're going to do them like that. Okay. Same thing on the bottom. The next row, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull those around. Okay. Here, opposite. Just bring those up and around. And then the bottom ones, same thing. Bring it up and around. Here, we're going to bring this one up. Just like that. And the bottom one in between. So that is how you would add a bow to the bottom, so that like your tails are all cascading down. So I'm just going through and, you know, taking my finger and placing them on each of those tails and pulling them down. It puts the curl back in them. Just like that. And then you can just kind of fan them out however you want to do that. Okay, just like that. That is our downward bow. That's how you fluff your downward bow. See, so any bow that you make with a bow recipe, you can make it two ways. You can make it to where your tails hang down, which is kind of, that's kind of where I'm thinking. Because look, if we had this out to the side, this is where I'm thinking it'll go. Like that. Or like that. That's what I'm thinking. They're going to go to this side. So let's fluff the other one like that too. And then this is going off the same way we put it on. We'll fluff this one the exact same way. Hook it on. Trying to find where I have my hook, because I want to make sure I'm not hooking my ribbon. So again, pull our tails down. There's that one. Down, down. Here's this one. I don't know why I went way high. And then we're doing the same thing. Top two, open, but do them opposite on either side. Just like that. So they're opposite of each other. I'm going to bring one high and one kind of in the middle. Here, I'm going to pull the green up. I'll put the gold in the center. And then here, we'll go all the way up, because this one's already here. We'll go all the way up with the blue. And then we'll put our teal down here. Here. We'll open our teal. And this one is already open at the top. And then just move them around to where they're in a position you like. And then again, and then that way it'll give them some volume. It's like a back comb, right? A back comb on those 80s hairstyles. There's that. Okay, slide it off the same way we put it on. Trying to see, how did I take that off? I have to slide it. Okay. Okay. Grab a wreath. We're going to add our sign. So I am going to take this and place this right in the center, because this is where I said we're going to add 2 bows to either side. So I'm going to take my hole punch. This is a 1.5 millimeter beadsmith hole punch. You can also find these at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Walmart. They're going to probably be in the jewelry department because they were initially designed for punching holes in the metal for earrings. So I'm going to add some of our floral wire. I don't need these scissors. I'm going to just push this in the center. We're going to build over the hole, which just means that where I'm twisting, my wire is right over the hole on the back side. That keeps the sign laying flat. And this is 22 gauge floral wire. I buy a big spool like this from Joann's. Joann's? No, that one's from Michael's. Okay. This wreath is currently available on my website for sale. All you'll see is the sign. If anyone is interested, it's the only one I'm making with this sign. So there's that. We're going to go ahead and add a business card to the back. I'm going to make sure. Yep. Right side up. We're just going to add this right to the back. So I've started doing this again because so many customers have asked, so how do you know where you ordered a wreath from? Is there any way you can attach something to your wreaths to where I would know and I don't have to keep, some people lose track of our business cards. This is a fact of life. So just having that little hint, I can always tell my clients, well, the way you'll know if it was one of mine is now there should be a business card attached to the back. So I think I went through this one green that I wanted. Now, let me do this way. At first I was going to go and pull that out, but then I remembered we're going to add our bows to the sides. So just right there is roughly where I want my sign to stop. I'm going to do it the other side because I'm using the gold ribbons as my guide. So right where I have the gold. So there's one. Oop. That one had started to spin. And see, I need to loosen that up. Do I need to loosen it? Maybe not. Let me look. Nope, I think we're good. What I am going to do though is go around the bottom and we're going to take out some of our Deco mesh a little bit and kind of ruffle the edge right there. Because I hate seeing this when I look at people's wreaths. It's like, I can tell that you just plopped a sign in there. So it's super easy just to take it and just pull out some little pieces of your mesh. I think I'm trying to get this green one. And just feather that edge like that. And then it takes out that harsh round that you see right when you look at it. Okay. So there is that. Now, because I have my bow here, I always call it my landing spot. This is where my bow needs its landing spot. It needs a place to rest. So I'm just tucking my mesh right in there. And then I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to make sure that the edges of here are going to brush the top and actually hit, let me see, yes, just like that. So I'm just going to move my half tails that I have right here and bypass the mesh that's all the way around it and try to give it a pretty good helm, but I don't want to cover up my sign. I want it to brush the edge, but that's it. And if your bows, I noticed this lately, if your bows are wobbly, you don't have enough bite onto your wreath form. So just pull your pipe cleaner or your floral wire out and take a bigger chunk of your wreath frame out, and then it'll lay without flopping forward or flopping to the side. You just need a bigger bite. Because if we're trying to just put it around one skinny rail, that's not enough. You need to make it a little bit more. And now I'm just taking all of my tails, pulling all my tails down, opening everything up, just like so. There's that one. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So this one is going to be right in here. I'm going to push my green down and this blue right in here so I don't get floaters. And I'm going to pull this one halfway down. I still want this coming up on the top. Then we're going to plop this. We're going to get those tails to come down because they're in the way. Let me open this up. Just like that. And I gotta get it affixed in. Here's the thing, right? You've got to make sure your bows are timed so that they're both the same height. Okay, I know it went through. It just was bypassing my hand. Right inside. I just give it a kind of a little bit of a push. And then let me redress this. Let's get all of our ribbons open because we didn't add all those ribbon to have them lay flat. If it feels like there's just, you need to give them some more fluff, give them some more fluff, give them some more love. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So I feel like that's a really good representation of what we've been doing here on this wreath. I'm going to pull some of these back just a little bit. Give them just a little bit more of a fluff. Here's a little bit of the green. So we have enough going around there. So super pretty, right? Okay, now we're just going to embellish. So super simple. We're doing a couple things. So at Dollar Tree, they have these little faux pearl beads. And we're going to take these and we're going to put these on the blue. Is it blue? Gold. Right wherever we have a gold. Like, let me make sure I can fan these out. So we have like a little gold area in here. I'm going to have to put the glue gun in, put a little dot, come in with my pearl, and then just attach that. Wherever we have a half bow, we're going to add a little pearl to the center. So right to our pipe cleaner, little dab. Careful when you're placing your pearl in the inside so as to not burn yourself. So these ones you can see. I'm going to do the two down here at the bottom. There's one. I'm going to come down here. You can take, I think even Dollar Tree sells like little crystals. You could put those in the center if you'd like. I'm going to put one of these in the center of my bow. Just like so. So there's that one. It's just easier to take the glue gun and put the glue gun down in the center. To do that. Okay, so we've added those there. Now, where we have this, whatchamacallit, the netting, we want to make sure we have some treasures from the ocean. So you can use little starfish, like so. You can come in with your seashells and add those in. Generally when I'm doing my seashells, I buy like a big basket like this. So I have a lot to choose from. So here I'm going to add my starfish right in here. Okay, and then we're going to add, see the ones that I pulled. Like stuff like this. That would just fit in here perfectly. Like little tucked up little treasures. Like right in here, I think would make. And you just glue to the surface. And then I'm kind of tucking mine up under the ribbon. Just like that. Let's see what else. Let's go around. We can even put one in here. I like this one. I like the smaller ones over the larger ones. So I'm just going to add one right in here. So those are added in. So I'm just placing those wherever we have the net. So I've got one in here. Again, starfish. I usually just do the lower half and then just attach them so that they're on my mesh. And then we'll find, I'm trying to go with lighter shells so there's not a ton of weight in here. And I'm trying to get them to where they're kind of stuck in the net. Just like that. Ooh, here's some pretty ones, like this one. Go ahead and add that one. Okay, there's those two. We'll come back up. Let's do something different up here. Let's see. Let's come in here with some different seashells at the top. We're going to place one here, because those are kind of like treasures she brought in from the ocean. This one's going in here. Okay, a couple more seashells. Trying to find some that are a little bit smaller. Generally, those pendants have a tendency of being towards the bottom. Not the same. Let's go with something different. Here's a beige one. I like the little conch shells. And I'm just kind of sticking them to the net, the netting. Trying to get this one to bubble. And like this one's really pretty. I like this color. We'll add that one in right along the bottom and right at the top. Right in there. Okay, that's that. Our last starfish. We're going to go ahead and add this one in here. So this one's actually going to sit on the net. So if I can, we're going to just do it right to the center. Try to stick a couple of them in the holes. And then the center's staying glued to our net. Okay, we have one more. Let's see. I tried to do 3 on all of them. Yeah, let's put this one in. Since it's small enough, I can weave it in. We'll go ahead and place this one up under. Right there. Okay, we're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. Okay. So, here we are. This is everything we have done. This is our mermaid inspired wreath from this sign. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the door and show you what it looks like. So give me just a minute. I'm going to lift it up. I'm trying to keep it up. There's always that last little jerk. Okay, right there. Take this one down. We're going to put this one up. Trying to make sure I got it on my hook. And then now I'm going to go ahead and make sure We've removed all of our glue threads from here, but this is the final design. What do you guys think? This is why I like having a darker door, because a darker door will show you all the little pieces of like glue that you need to address. But there is our beach mermaid welcome wreath, and I think we've got it on straight. So let me zoom in so you guys can see it. That's exactly what it looks like. I'm trying to move my head out of the way. There we go. All right, that's our design for today, and hope you guys like it. Something different to do for a mermaid inspired wreath. And I will be back with you guys on Thursday at 11 Pacific, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. We're just going to do a floral wreath, no bow. It's just going to be a floral grapevine. So I hope you guys will come back and watch me for that. And I will talk to you all soon. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.